Hey everybody, welcome to today's tactical tip. Now I stopped it right there because today's tip is not actually about how to defend yourself when somebody pulls a weapon like a knife, could have been a gun, doesn't make a difference. Today's tip is actually about the physiology of combat, and this is something I want to try to break down and share with you real quick because it is so important and so often overlooked. Now what happens in a critical incident like that, there's something called vasoconstriction. You see, your body, the physiology is going to have a reaction to combat stress, whether that's low altercations all the way up to extreme lethal force. Now what am I talking about? I'm talking about something that is called SNS, the sympathetic nervous system. It is the part of your body's survival mechanism that is responsible for your survival. And here's what it'll do. It is there to help you, but it'll mobilize all your body's resources very quickly. One of the things I'm focusing on today is vasoconstriction. Now what's that? Vasoconstriction, under threat, remember whether it's perceived or real, from low level to high level, your body is going to start to close down all of the perimeter veins in your extremities, which means you're going to lose blood flow to the hands, to the arms, to the leg, the feet, the legs. It's going to start taking all of that blood and redirecting it into the major muscle groups, your big muscles, and prepare you for that fight or flight. Now why is this important today? In that situation where I had somebody come up and pull a knife at me, let's say I defended myself and now I get out of the assault and I run. My car is just a block away. As I run to the car, one of the things that happens in our scenarios is we train this, and you get to the car and what do you have to do? You have to put your hand in your pocket, you got to pull the keys out, get the key, put it in a lock, and unlock the door. Boom, done. Get in the vehicle and drive away. The other thing you might have to do is you might have to get out, access your telephone, pull that out of your pocket, activate it. Now you don't have to insert it, you hit, but then hit emergency call, dial 911, and hit send. Okay, all of those things are requiring dexterity. And all of that changes when you experience vasoconstriction. Imagine if all the blood is pulled out of your extremities. You don't feel your hands the same way. You lose some of that sensitivity. Now, we showed you just something simple of getting your car keys and either getting into your house or getting into your car, accessing your cell phone and actually being able to dial 911 and open that cell phone. Now what I want to show you is just a couple layers higher. If I'm going to get the camera to move over here. Okay, now she moves over here. I'm going to bring our assailant, our attacker back in. Knife in there. And what happens now, we got that knife in my hands. I see people practice this kind of stuff all the time. They go, whoa, I got the knife, boom, boom, and they put pain down range. Then they pull it up and they look or go for some sort of disarm. Okay, now the other side of that is, let's talk about law enforcement. If that knife is still in my face and you have an officer and I have a gun here, a simulation gun, if I'm moving this way, boom, he's got to pull that back, boom, he's got to draw that firearm and he's got to bring that weapon to bear on somebody. All of that is requiring a certain amount of dexterity. Now you might think repetition is the key. Whether you're looking for some sort of a disarm and you're looking to get that out of the hands, or you're thinking about accessing that firearm, all of that is repetition, right? Well, here's what I want to tell you. Most people never practice it under the conditions that they're going to experience it. All right, so I'm going to pause right here and we're going to come back in 2 seconds. I'm going to show you how to do this a different way. Hey everybody, we're back. Now, what have we got here? We got a bucket, we got some snow. This could be ice water as well. What are we going to do? We are going to simulate vasoconstriction, which means that I need to freeze my arms. See, this happens every time you go out in cold weather. When you feel that blood loss in your fingers and you have a hard time with the dexterity, that's vasoconstriction. This can hit you in fractions of a second, depends how intense the situation is. So, everything that you're going to train, you can train it to learn it, but you must train it under vasoconstriction. So we just have Mac throw some ice in there, pack them nice and deep with some snow. And what we're going to do is make sure that it's packed down nice and tight, my arms are covered, and we're going to let it sit for 90 seconds, maybe 2 minutes. And then what we're going to do is once I'm experiencing the vasoconstriction, I'm going to go back and I'm going to retrain and run through everything that I already did. See you back in 90 seconds. Okay, we're back. Been about 90 seconds, then I re-put my hands back in after I put my gloves on. The hands are numb. That is the vasoconstriction. Remember, in a threat, depending on the level of threat and what that means to you and how you react to it, you can experience this in fractions of a second. So now, oh, bugging my, there you go. Now what we're going to do is this. All of a sudden, if I had to go in and get my car keys, pull the car keys out and get that dexterity, okay, I got it. If I have to get my cell phone, then I go in, and again, I get my cell phone, hand gets caught up a bit, trying to hit it, hit the buttons, and then trying to hit the 911, boom, and I got it. Okay, then all of a sudden, get the camera over on this side again, then all of a sudden we get back into this position here, and I was like, and I put that pain down range, and then I grab this and I'm going for this. Now this is interesting, because I can't feel the same level of contact. I can't feel the same positioning on that blade to know whether or not I've got it in the right position to get that strip. And of course at the end, and normally in between each ones, I would refreeze my hands. But at the end of this, for a long time, boom, push back, and then boom. And see, even right there, I could feel it that I didn't get my hand onto that firearm the same way. it hit the holster and I had to actually think, is my hand on that? What am I feeling? Because I don't have the same feeling in my fingertips. Now, the only reason I want to share this today, you guys, none of this was about what your tactical response should be in a situation. It was about the fact that your body's physiology has a response to a threat. Just one. There's so many different variables to this. One concept is that vasoconstriction. You must train with the vasoconstriction in place. Now, we can run full-out scenarios and we can just get vasoconstriction and experience the physiological changes naturally because of the threat and the intensity of it, but you can also break it out and micro-train it. All right, everybody, practice, put this into it. Work with your hands frozen to experience vasoconstriction, and that way you're never going to be surprised when you experience in a real assault. All right, everybody, until next time, listen, this is about you becoming a modern protector. Thank you, Mac, for your help today. This is about an unbreakable mental toughness and unwavering self-confidence. And until next time,
stay safe.
Stay safe, everybody. All right, thanks.